I'm hiking alone today. Now, hiking solo isn't for everyone, but I really like it. Some people say that hiking solo adds more risk to your hike, and I agree with that. But I also think that there is no safety bubble in our society. There are things in my own house that are scary, like my air fryer. And there are things in the backcountry that are dangerous and scary, like big rocks, slippery ledges, and the a-hole that totally cut me off as I was driving to get here. Here are 5 things that I do to stay safe on every single hike. And keep watching because the 5th thing that I do is really weird and it just might surprise you. Before I left on today's hike, I walked over to my husband's office and I told him my plan. I told him where I was going, what trail I was going to be hiking, and what time I thought I would return home. And then I said, if I'm not home by dinner time, you're in charge. Next, I looked at the weather forecast. It's spring here in the Rockies, and we can go from beautiful blue sunny skies like we're experiencing today to a blizzard in the blink of an eye. Checking in on the weather and having a good plan is super important because I need to know what the road conditions look like as I'm trying to get to the trailhead, and I need to know what to expect when I'm actually out on my hike. And this leads me to the 3rd point. I didn't use a generic packing list to figure out what to put in my backpack today. Instead, I looked at the forecast, I looked at how long I expect to be out on today's hike, and I just took a few minutes to consider how I'm feeling. It's a beautiful sunny day, and it's warm, so I threw in some extra sun protection, a hat, some sunglasses, and I'm even wearing sunscreen today. All because I looked at that weather forecast and thought about the trail conditions that I can expect. I also put some extra food and water in my car that's parked at the trailhead. I always just like to have a little bit extra. I also chose a trail that I know well in a location that's very comfortable for me. I'm not worried about getting lost or losing my way because I've hiked this trail a lot before. But if this were a new to me trail, then I would have spent a little more time planning my route. I would have packed my Garmin InReach, I'd have a map in my backpack, and I'd have Garmin EarthMate pulled up on my phone. But I have cell service here, I know the route, and I'm comfortable with the plan. I think what I'm trying to say here is if you want to venture out on a solo hike, but you aren't comfortable with where you are going, then you're just not going to have any fun because you're going to feel some anxiety, you're going to be a little bit nervous, and you may even be a little bit scared. Out here, I'm comfortable, but I'm not complacent. Comfortable means that I'm aware of my surroundings and that generally I feel pretty good here. Complacency would be where I would be so arrogant that I'd fail to see any risk at all, and I wouldn't take any steps to ensure my safety. Even people who are very experienced in the outdoors can get caught in very dangerous and unsafe situations. I think that most of the time when this happens, it's because our egos have gotten in the way. I respect Mother Nature, and I acknowledge that when I'm out here in her backyard, there are risks that simply don't exist in the front country. I used to say things like, always pack the 10 essentials, always do this, always do this, always do this. But lately I've matured in how I approach adventures in the backcountry. It's not that I'm advocating for doing unsafe things. It's more that I think we need to put a little thought into each and every adventure because each and every adventure is different. I think that following somebody else's plan and somebody else's packing list can actually increase the risk on our hikes. And I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you agree or disagree with me? What did I miss? Go ahead, drop a comment below and let me know. Thanks so much, and I'll see you out on the trails.